Hello and welcome to this video on aggregate supply. First we'll have a look at the definition of aggregate supply. We'll then distinguish between the short run and the long run aggregate supply curve, which you'll also have to be able to draw in a diagram. Let's have a look what aggregate supply is. Aggregate supply is defined as the total quantity of goods and services that firms plan to produce in a specific period. As with aggregate demand, there is a relationship between quantity of real GDP supplied and the price level. However, there is a different relationship in the short run and the long run. Let's first have a look at the long run aggregate supply curve. The long run aggregate supply curve is the total quantity of goods and services that can be provided within an economy, and this depends on the quantity and quality of labor, capital, and the state of technology within this economy. This total quantity of goods and services that can be produced is independent of price level. It represents an economy's potential output or potential gross domestic product. How does it look like in a diagram? First we have price level vertically and real GDP horizontally. As the long run aggregate supply curve is independent on price level, real GDP here reflects an economy's potential output. To what extent an economy is producing at its potential output depends on various factors we'll discuss at a later stage. Let us now turn to the short run aggregate supply curve. In line with the law of supply that we've seen in macroeconomics, the higher the price level, the higher the quantity of real GDP supplied. Remember, in macroeconomics we discussed that if the price rises, firms' marginal revenue increases. That means firms will increase their production to maximize their profit. On your screen you see the diagram for short run aggregate supply curve. Horizontally we find real GDP and vertically we'll find the price level. If the price level increases, firms are willing to produce more. If firms are producing more, real GDP increases. This is shown in the short run aggregate supply curve. Now that we have discussed both the aggregate supply and aggregate demand curve, we can have a look at the AS/AD model, which we'll have a look at in the next video.